Hello, Denise here. Welcome back to my channel and a big warm welcome to my new subscribers. Thank you for taking the time to watch my videos and thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Today I'm coming on to share this card. A couple of weeks ago, Monica, Quilling Lady, contacted me to ask if I wanted to take part in her collaboration, which is a butterfly craft fest. So throughout the next Saturdays in August, so that's today, which is August the 8th, the 15th of August, the 22nd and the 29th, we're going to be doing some makes with a butterfly theme. Now today's make is a fancy fold card, and then we're going to be doing a box, a shaped card and a pop-up card. And along with Monica and myself, there is also Katerina, Marta of Drop of Sunshine and Monica Paper Mona. I leave all the links to their channels in the description box below, and you can go and see their makes as well. And Monica has asked if you want to join in and share your makes, use the hashtag Butterfly Craft Fest. Again, details will be given down below in the description box. Now, as I said, today's card is a fancy fold card, and the fancy fold I chose was a Dutch fold. I don't do this very often, and I quite like the effect it gives. And so that is the card that I made. And for the elements, I've used this paper pack, which is Chloe's Creative Cards, and it's the Fabulous Florals and Flutters. And it's got some beautiful papers, and that is the paper I used, but there are some other gorgeous papers. I have shared this before, so, and they're all double-sided as well, so that's a wonderful paper pack. And for my main element, the butterfly and the sentiment, I'm using an old Papercraft Society box kit that was collated by Textures. And it was a lovely kit because, again, all done around butterflies. And we've got these wonderful dies. Now, I've used this one, and I've also used the Sentiment Fly High. I didn't use the shadow that came with it, though. And I've used one of the butterfly trails. This, really, where you see all these holes in the dies, you can actually run threads through them, and we did get threads with it. And I'd done some of that years and years ago before I got this kit. And when we got the kit, I thought, oh, great, I can give this a go again. And getting it out again to use the butterflies, I thought, oh, I want to do some of that again. So you may see a card done with some threads using this kit again. And then we got sentiments, and we also got some stencils. But I can remember getting this and thinking, look, this is a lovely kit. But again, as you say, you use it when you first get it, and I haven't used it in a while, so that's why I've got it out. So, as I said, my card today is a Dutch fold card. So let's get on and show you how I put this card together. We first of all need a piece of card that measures 10 1/4 by 9 1/2. And along the 9 1/2 side, we want to score 2 3/8 and 7 1/8. So that's scoring at 2 3/8 and 7 1/8. Then we need to turn the card onto the 10 1/4 inch side, and then we need to score at 2 inches down to this first score line, and at 6 inches all the way down You can turn the card, and again we need to score at 2 inches. I'm just going to make a notch there because I want it to go the same way. So from where I've made that notch on the 2-inch mark, I'm going to score up to that other score line. You can, if you wish, put a ruler just so you know you're on a straight line, but just for to get it right, I just like to turn it over, put a notch, and then I know where I'm going to score up from that notch up to that first score line there. So that's all our scoring done. So it now brings us to cutting. So what we need to do is, where that score line is, this score line along this 2-inch section here, is I'm going to cut along that, and I'm going to take the bulk of that score line out and just cut up to the score line that goes down there, and then we're going to cut away all of this section. And again, I'm taking the bulk. It's difficult for you to see on this with it being white card, but I'm taking the bulk of the score line out. So that's one side. So we've taken that whole section out, and then we're going to do the same on this side. And as I say, again, I'm going to take the bulk of the score line out, and then again down here. And I've done it without burnishing the score lines first, just to make it easier for me. If I'm cutting, I prefer sometimes when this length not to burnish the score lines, but you may wish to do that. So that's some card in my scrap for later. So that is how your card should look. And now I'm going to burnish those score lines. Just make sure you match up the edges. That's those two, and then this 6-inch mark where you've scored there. So that is how your Dutch fold should look, and it's meant to go over slightly over these two, so that when you pop it out, that is how it stands. So that's the Dutch fold, which is quite easy really, not too difficult a fold. So all it leaves us now is to decorate it. So as I said in the beginning of the video, I'm using this Papercraft Society kit, and I've used that butterfly. And what I did with the butterfly is embossed it and cut into some vellum. I cut the butterfly out, left it in the die and turned it over, and then went with my ball tool just in each of the dots around, so it's brought out, if you can see it, the markings around. And then in the kit as well, there is some trails for the butterfly trails, and again I've just cut that out of there. Hope you can see that I've cut out of there, and I'm going to back that on to some card that I've got from my stash, and that's going to go on there. So I'm going to stick this down, so I'm just going to put a little blob of glue in each of those areas. I'm hoping once it's dry and I put some jewels on, you won't see the glue. So I've just popped it in a couple of little areas, and that is going to get stuck on there. So we'll stick that down. Still some, can still see some dark glue that was on the edges. It's a little cardstock, and where it is in the booklet, when you pull out the cards, sometimes there is still glue that's stuck to it, and because I'm popping it onto white card, I can actually see where it is. I think I've got it all now. So yes, I'm going to stick that on there. And for that, as normal, I'm using my Collall glue. There we are. Stick that down. Before I decorate that more, I'm going to stick the rest of my mats and layers down. So for these, again, I've taken my green little card and I've cut 4 that measure 2 1/4 by 1 7/8, and then 4 of the butterfly paper, and that measures 2 1/8 by 1 3/4, and that is my mats and layers, and I'm going to stick them on the front and on the back of these. And then for the inside here, I've got a piece of card that measures 4 1/2 by 5 3/4. It's going to go on there. And then I've got a piece of white card that my message is going on, and that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and that's going to sit in there. I've got a piece of paper, and that's 4 1/4 by 1 inch, and I'm going to pop that on there, just down there, and then I can write my message there. And then for this top area, I've got a piece of card that measures 4 1/2 by 4 1/8, and that's going on there. And then the paper, which is 4 1/4 by 3 7/8, and that's going to sit on there. So I'm going to go away and get all those stuck down, and I'll come back to you shortly. So that's all my mats and layers stuck down. So it just leaves us now to decorate the front of the card. And from that same set, I've taken the die and cut out Fly High, and also I've cut out the body of the butterfly. I've sort of cut it out 3 times, I think, and just stacked them on top of the other, just for some dimension. I have also gone over the words and the body of the butterfly with my Spectrum Noir sparkle pen, just to give it some sparkle on there. So I'm going to just glue that down onto there. So just from there, and I'm just going to glue that down. And then again, the words I'm going to put on there, fly high. So we'll get those glued down as well. I was really happy when Monica, Crafting with Quilling Lady, contacted me to ask if I wanted to take part in this collaboration. And with it being butterflies, I thought, oh, I love butterflies. You will have known by some of my other cards. So it didn't take me long to consider, and I said yes please. And of course the other ladies who I've listed below in the description box, who were taking part as well. So please go along and have a look at their makes. And as I said at the top of the video, this collaboration will be coming out every Saturday throughout August, and we've got different makes. So it will be, there's this fancy fold, there's a box, there's a pop-up card, and I've forgotten the other one, but I'll list them all in the description box below. Everything is on my phone, which I'm recording this on. I haven't got it written down in front of me, but I list everything we're doing. But as I say, it's coming out every Saturday throughout August, so please go along and see everybody's videos. So now what I'm going to do, I've got my little gems, and where I cut in the trail, I'm just going to pop some glue along there, and where's my thing? There it is. And just pop in the gems along the way. And I know you can see the white glue at the minute, but that will dry clear, so you won't see it. So that's all those jewels on the butterfly trail. And as I say, the glue will dry clear, so you won't see that. And then it just leaves me, in order so you can't see where I glued it in the corner, I've also got some gems on here. So I'm going to put another little drop of glue in each of these corners, and then I have got, where's my pokey tool? So I'm going to pop one of these in each of those corners, and then the glue that I've glued the vellum down with won't be seen. Got that in there. Whoops. And that one on there. So let's just clear all my desktop and we'll have a look at the finished card. So here is the finished card, the fancy fold, and I've chosen a Dutch fold card. So as I said, when you stand it up, that will be how it looks for your recipient. Stands very nicely. So I hope you like that card. I've enjoyed making it, and please go along and see all the other ladies' makes. All their details are in the description box below. I'm sure we'll all have different cards, different folds, so it'll be interesting to see what the other ladies have done. So it just leaves me to say thank you very much for watching. I'll be back next Saturday with another butterfly themed card. As I said in the video, it is every Saturday through August. So thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.